Doing what I feel with no regrets. Constantly forgiving, but I'm never gonna forget. Always keeping my composure, I won't let them see me sweat. The only thing that really matters is the power and respect in this world. I won't make the same mistakes from all the lessons I learned. Ain't no coping, no emotions for them bridges I burned. Must have been forced in my...
Oh, that was good, man.
Y'all done messed him up.
That was good.
We
messed everything up.
Buzz, nice. Buzz is gone.
Your buzz is gone? Ooh, I got it. We got that.
Hey, should we take a shot?
Is that why you're looking at me?
Me? Why?
Because you're just waiting for me to like jump into the ditch I was digging for myself?
No.
You want to take a shot?
Man, I ain't gotta let everybody know the real you.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, cheers. Have mom on the show. First guest. Cheers. Take a toast. Let's take a shot.
You want to take a shot?
No, I said, do y'all want to take a shot?
I personally do not want to take a shot. But, you know, if you guys do
I'm
choose to.
good.
I'm good.
What you got back there though?
Oh, I just got a mixed drink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be taking any shots.
I'm chilling. But welcome everybody. This is episode 12 of the Mac 5 podcast. We in the building. We got myself, Drew, in the building. I'm not gonna go through all the nicknames. We're gonna let Lance do that when we get to him. But we're gonna let the rest of y'all introduce yourselves before we get into our very special guest that y'all just got a little earful from. But y'all go ahead.
You know, today I'm just Lance, man. I ain't, you know, I'm chilling today. Actually, no, I got one. It's your mama's favorite son. That's all we got today.
What's good, everybody? My name is Lake. I'm back.
Lake is
What's up, Lake?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Feel me? So, about to kick off another episode.
Yes, sir. Austin.
I'm going to go by Jordan today. Mom is in the building, so we're
Government names across the
we're gonna
building.
say Jordan.
You feel me?
So,
But yeah, so as we mentioned, we got a very special guest. The first guest on the Mac 5 podcast is only right
Special
now
one,
with
too.
the family matriarch. We got our mother, Leslie McGuffie, in the building.
Accuse
What's
of
up?
I can't.
Oh, you're not hooked on to it.
Like my phone. It's
Yeah.
recording.
It's all good.
Yeah, what's up, mama?
We got our
How you
mom.
doing?
What's up? AKA Leslie, AKA Mrs. McGuffie, AKA Gigi.
Throw him out there. Sure, I'm rubbing off on everybody.
But nah, I guess first and foremost, we're happy to have you on the show. We're happy you're the first guest.
Thank you.
what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
it.
The reason for the Mac 5.
Right.
Wouldn't let us be possible. Without
I
the
am privileged and honored
sacrifice.
to be invited. I appreciate y'all.
Carried
Thank
us
you.
all for around 9 months. You know what I'm saying? Raised us. What happened?
It was 10
It's
months.
like 40 weeks,
Who?
give or take a couple days.
Who was like 42?
Actually, no, you.
No,
y'all was like
we
30
premature.
something.
Oh, who was
premature.
35?
Yeah, you guys were
Yeah, y'all
quite
got-
a bit premature.
Got up out of there. It's about that time. So,
Yeah, but so I guess the best way to kick this off, I know the audience, you know, from watching the podcast, say they want to know a lot about you. We're gonna start from the beginning though.
Oh boy.
Let's talk a little bit about your upbringing.
where you from?
Where was you born?
What you claim? What you throw up?
So I was born in New Orleans, as you know.
Okay.
Moved to Los Angeles at the age of 4 with my mother, when my parents split up.
Yeah.
Grew up in 3 or 4 different parts of Los Angeles. Ended up in the Crenshaw area.
Crenshaw.
Oh, I see what you did, Lake.
Hey.
I see what you did.
Hold that down.
Yeah.
Went to several schools. San Pedro Street School, Coliseum Street School,
Audubon.
Audubon Junior High School.
Audubon.
Granada Hills High School, Birmingham High School, University of Southern California, USC Trojans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was all over.
Straight like that. So,
Yeah.
okay. What was your favorite school? What was your favorite experience?
Coliseum Street, probably. No, Audubon.
Audubon?
Yeah.
I was
Middle school.
Audubon. For those that don't know, James Harden went to Audubon. Just a little Little background. How was Audubon?
That is your
James
goat.
Audubon was
bro.
cool. That was
That's
7th
his
grade
goat.
to 9th grade.
Watch your mouth, Jordan. Go ahead, Mom.
Did I miss it again? I always miss it when he says something inappropriate.
Nah, he said that.
It wasn't appropriate.
Okay.
do
No,
you
7th
even
grade to
remember
9th
that,
grade
bro?
was Audubon.
How do you remember middle school, but I don't remember middle school? That's crazy.
You don't remember middle school?
Look, I lose a year every year I gain.
Oh,
My
wow.
memory goes back to about 22 now.
Yeah, mine is pretty much the same. I have a gap. Right around the time I was having all of y'all, stuff got fuzzy.
Hey, out of college, man. Trying
Yeah.
to tell you, brain fog out the mug.
Yeah.
So how was raising 6 kids in the 90s? What was that experience like?
I think it was awesome because,
And in LA, Long Beach.
it was awesome. Your dad and I started off in Hawthorne. That's when we had Jordan and Drew. Then we moved to Compton, and that's when we had Austin.
Austin didn't have his
He was
moment.
waiting on that one.
I've been trying to tell y'all. And I was verified. I was born in Compton. Don't try my gangster.
You just said you're not from there.
Nah, cuz. I was born in Compton.
He was actually born in Torrance.
You were all born in Torrance, actually, but we lived in Compton when you were born.
Hardcore.
And then we moved to Long Beach, where
Northside.
your brother Blaine was born, and then the twins.
Love it.
Lick and Lance, I'm sorry. I don't mean to just group y'all together, the twins.
Everybody do it.
I mean, you gave birth to them at the same time. How
I
could you
did.
not
I
group them
did.
It's like
together?
8 minutes apart.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, you go through the rundown, you got Jordan, Drew, Austin Blaine, and it's Lake and Lance.
Well, like, I was telling Lance the other day, like, or was it Lake? Like, you guys are the same person. Like,
That's-
to a lot of people, you guys have the name Lake and Lance.
We're just so
That's
different,
your
though.
collective name.
We're
People,
very
people who know
different.
us personally know that, it's a big difference. So
If y'all ain't caught on, like, in previous episodes, those two are twins, born in 94, right? 94?
94.
Yeah, so
it's cool to be known as Lake and Lance, but if that's all you know us by, it's gonna be hard to know us individually as well. So
Facts.
Yeah, you guys have some differences.
We have a lot of differences.
That actually were apparent when you were born.
Oh, yeah?
We knew what we wanted to name you guys, but we had to see your faces before we knew which one to give which name.
So how did you decide that he was a Lance?
I don't know because, okay, so the name Lake,
how am I late? Jordan, Drew, Austin, Blaine, Lake, Lance. I'm the only one with a body of water name. Y'all all got regular names.
we were watching a football game one time, and there was this player named Lake Dawson.
I've been waiting on this explanation.
And Dad and I loved that name, Lake. So we needed a name to match Lake, so that's how Lance came up. And then when you guys were born, I was trying to figure out, okay, which one to give the name Lake.
Lance, so Lance got a secondhand name.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You just matching me, low key. You copying me again.
Here we go.
That's crazy because I couldn't imagine if his name was Lake.
I was just getting ready to ask
His
that.
name
Yeah.
Lance.
Like,
Yeah,
what if
I
your name was Lake? Could you?
I couldn't imagine my name being late.
What about you?
You have a totally different life. Don't even know. Don't even know.
Everybody took himself out. Lake was
Nah,
dope for that
really
name.
cool. Yeah, Lake was, man.
That actually brings up a good point, in my opinion. I don't think, like, any of us have, like, regular names. Like, ain't none of us named, like, John or Chris, or, like, we all have,
Shout out
like,
to the
unique
Johnson
names in a way.
Chris's.
There's a lot of people, like, pretty much over the years, like, since Jordan came about, that a lot of people have been named Jordan, but
Yeah.
we have, like, unique names in a way.
Like, do you know any other Drews?
Nah, I don't know any other Drews. I know Andrews, and they go by
Yeah.
Drew, so everybody calls me Andrew.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Or whichever one of y'all.
do what I do.
That, you know.
I think
caused a
Lance
whole
is
lot of
pretty
confusion.
Austin's not as common. I think in the 90s, all these names, Jordan was definitely common. Andrew/Drew was super common. Austin was pretty common.
I don't think so. I didn't run into people with my name.
Like, do you know anybody else named Austin?
Not a person.
Yeah.
So, like, what made y'all choose the names that y'all gave us? Like, what made y'all kind of like go against the grain on that?
Oh, I mean, we wanted you to have good, strong,
Interview names.
interview names, resume names.
Resume name. That's why y'all chose Jerome for my middle name. I knew
I
better.
did not choose that. That was your dad. But yeah, we just wanted you guys to have good, strong names. Names where you could carry on and do whatever you want to do with them.
Okay.
That didn't limit you to any one particular lifestyle or anything. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of things I didn't like about myself as a kid. I ain't gonna bring that up again.
No, bring that up.
Yeah. You hated your name.
I didn't like my name.
Yeah.
I didn't like my name.
You?
I didn't like my first name. I did. I like my first name. Everybody always messed with my last name, like spelling it wrong.
Calling
People
you
say McGuffie,
McGuffie,
McDuffie, all type
McGuffie.
of stuff. So, like as a kid, like as you kind of like learning and like growing up, you almost prefer to kind of fit into the crowd.
What did
And
you
that
want your
kinda
name to be?
I don't know. I just didn't like Drew. I like it now though. I'm good with it, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to. I mean, Dad's name is Eric. Like if it was something along the lines
We didn't want
of
any
that.
juniors.
I thought y'all with Jordan's story. I thought.
Well, okay, so it could have been Eric Jr., but when he was born, he didn't look like an Eric Jr. He looked
didn't.
like a Jordan.
He did. He does.
Yeah.
If you were first, you might have been.
Perhaps, yeah.
that would have fit.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, you say that now, but younger me was a completely different person. I don't even think I look like
You kinda
myself, and nor do I think I look like Dad, like back then.
Right, you're like the only one of all of you that doesn't look like you look
I
when you were
was
born.
swapped out, man. I swear. That's why I don't remember nothing.
A lot of people think you and Pops look alike, but I'm like, you look like
I mean,
Mom. You look like Mama for real, for real.
Think so?
You think so?
Yeah.
You're the only person I heard say that.
I don't think so.
You just dark skinned.
You favor Dad more so than you
It's
favor
that
Mom.
nose.
He said, just F what you saying, like, you favor Dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just the nose, man.
Pretty much.
But nah, I guess I kind of like, I want to backtrack just a little bit. You kind of talked about where you were born and how you came about, schools you went to, the area in Los Angeles you grew up in. One thing I wanted to ask you personally was, you grew up as an only child. And, so in that, not to say like you were selfish growing up, but you kept to yourself, you were shy from what we know. How did you go from that to having all these kids?
Your dad is very convincing. He's a salesperson.
He sure is.
He sold me on a dream.
Ghost.
Wait a minute.
Got you.
Wait, he's always said he wanted to have a lot of kids?
Well, of course, he's one of 10.
Right.
And I'm an only child. So I would have been good having a couple to 3 kids. Sorry to the rest of y'all. But I could have had like a couple, 3 kids, something like that.
It be like that, man.
And he wanted 4. Apologize to y'all for that.
Nah, I don't know if
here.
I want 6.
Well, wait.
I know it.
Wait. Hold on.
It's all good. Y'all got 6 now.
It's
Y'all got the
super
chosen
good.
one.
It's super good. I couldn't imagine our family without the 2 of you guys. You guys bring a lot to the table, to the equation. You know what I mean? So.
I
But
appreciate
yeah, it was quite an adjustment. Not only did I have to go from being an only child to having a house full of kids, but a house
All
full of
boys.
males.
Yeah.
I grew up really intimidated by males,
By
of
all
all
of us, huh?
ages.
Yeah, boy. So with the
I
kids,
had to,
right?
I had to learn how to speak man.
That's real.
I had to learn how to speak man. I had to learn how to be firm and assertive. I had to be a disciplinarian where I'm normally a non-confrontational
Boy.
person.
Her favorite
Boy.
answer was no to everything. I'm sorry, it was no.
No, it's true. No, I told you that.
Yeah,
She got that
loves saying
disciplinary
No was her
role down
favorite
pat,
word.
though.
I enjoy saying no, too. So,
Yeah, I would smile with it too.
I know.
You
That's how we
enjoyed
knew.
it. You enjoyed
That's how we
yourself.
knew.
Did y'all used to discipline us and then go back in the room and start laughing at the things?
I'm
sure they did.
Y'all,
All the time.
I do it all the time.
I don't know how I'm a.
Except with Drew.
Yeah.
Drew, no, we didn't laugh at disciplining Drew because Drew was a
He was
whole.
tripping.
He was a whole handful.
Episode 3.
Drew
Revert
was a
back to
whole
that.
handful.
Some stories.
We would laugh at Austin all the time because Austin was hilarious, and we would get him in trouble, and then go in the other room and laugh.
You went to one of those stories.
yeah. So tell a story,
What a
like
story.
something funny that we did that y'all just had to laugh at.
You want to talk
Other
about
than the Twix
story?
story? Oh, here we go.
you don't-
I knew it was coming.
We could talk about the Twix story with Lance, or we could talk about the shower story with Austin, or the running away story
Ooh,
with
that's a
Austin.
good one.
Man,
We already told that one on the podcast.
I
Or
walked
the
away.
dry toothbrush story with Jordan.
man.
Boy, they got
Those
Dad
things
got
are
me with the
funny.
drop
Blake was
toothbrush
always
too.
in trouble too. Blake was always in trouble.
They got me in trouble.
Probably went around outside naked.
I don't remember that.
I do.
I do. I remember that now.
I did too.
Yeah.
Never mind.
He ran outside naked? Oh, I don't remember that. I must have blocked that out.
It was probably like 2 or 3, something like that.
Let's go ahead and tell the.
I just remember when Lake convinced Lance to get all the bologna in the refrigerator and go hide up under the bed.
I remember that too.
I still remember that.
And I was looking for him. And I'm like, where they at? And I hear something in the room. And I go and look there underneath the twin bed on the floor eating out of the bologna package.
I remember.
Yeah, that stuff was good too.
You know what's crazy? I think after we posted the 3rd episode, I think I saw a comment somewhere from somebody wanting to hear that story.
Oh, for real?
I think I saw that. I forget from who. Maybe it might have been Mr. Thomas. But
Man, we will get a fresh. They would just come back from the grocery store, refrigerator full. I'm like, okay. I'm plotting. I'm waiting for everybody to leave the room. I'm gonna get the bologna pack. And I used to go under the bed. Yeah, eat that. I would eat about half the pack. Easy.
I was right there with him.
Yeah, always. He would get you in trouble.
Still to this
blame
To
day.
this day.
Don't blame me.
It's
Nah,
okay,
not
it's all
really.
good.
Don't blame
It's all
me.
good. That's what you bring, that extra flavor.
A little spice.
Little
some,
spice.
Some seasoning.
There you go.
I feel it.
Yeah.
So you had to be like all tough and become a disciplinarian. Mm-hmm. Like, did you regret, you know what I'm saying, like being so mean to us?
No, because look how you turned out.
yeah.
And I wouldn't even call it mean. You think I was mean?
No. I don't think you were mean. I don't think you were mean. That's not the word. Y'all weren't
Drew,
mean.
do you think I was mean?
I think sometimes she took out her frustrations.
You know what? I think
us.
so too.
And it was unknowingly. She didn't do it on purpose. But, probably a
like-
lot of things affected her.
Like that Santa hat story that I told.
Exactly.
Like that was-
I know that happened.
That whole video,
Oh,
she
yeah,
looked like she
yeah.
was bothered.
I was.
And it wasn't even about the Santa hat.
It wasn't about the Santa hat.
So since we
That
have you
did
on
something.
the podcast,
It
can
wasn't
you-
that.
What was it? Why'd you get so mad? What happened?
I mean, no comment.
Ooh, that's plead the fifth.
We didn't even announce the. All right,
1
say
point
less.
for your boy.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. All right, so you got one.
1 point for me.
Oh, what I missed?
We ain't said that. We ain't said it
Austin
yet.
jumping the gun.
I'm playing.
I will say though, when it was time for mom to spank us, she didn't even have to put her hands on us yet. You just see that look on her face. Boom, I'm crying. I see the veins coming out. That's enough.
Okay, so how often did that happen?
To you.
To me?
Yeah.
It didn't happen too often, but I do remember the last time I got spanked.
You do?
I do. I was in 6th grade,
Oh.
and I brought home some bad. I brought home.
6th grade?
I was in 6th grade. Who's here? Yep. I brought home some bad grades, and that was very common. I don't know why you spanked me for it. Like it didn't always happen. So I brought home my progress report, and it was bad. And you brought me to the closet. I mean, your bathroom, and I saw your face. And I just started crying. You didn't have the belt in your hand or nothing. You walked away and just left me in the bathroom by myself. And I'm just crying because I already know you about to.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I would get
That was the
I
last time
didn't spank you?
you did spank me.
Oh, okay. With the belt?
With the belt.
Okay.
After the fact.
After
Oh
the
wait,
fact.
how old are you in 6th grade?
11.
Too old.
It would've been-
Too old. Too old.
To be
That was
spanked.
the last time I got spanked.
What was the age that you stopped disciplining us in that
When
regard?
y'all started to act right.
It was 13 for me.
You
That was my
wouldn't
last
be
13. 13.
Yeah, you didn't hit me when I was.
Why are you looking at
It was over with by the time we came out here for sure, and definitely I think
You were
8th grade.
15.
Yeah, you wouldn't hit me. then.
No.
That's
you
when
were,
you transitioned.
You were taller than me.
And you
I wasn't gonna beat you up.
I still wasn't going to hit you. I turned you over to your dad at 13.
But he didn't even have to do nothing to you like that. You transitioned over to your more obedient self by that time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, see,
At 13?
He rebelled more as a child,
Yeah.
and then the rest of y'all rebelled older.
Nah, that's cap. Drew still rebelled at like 16.
What I do?
Man, y'all used to go at it.
Yeah,
Come
we
on.
did.
When y'all was here.
I mean, yeah.
That's different though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Drew's always been like a headstrong individual.
Yeah.
So Drew, it don't matter who it is. Drew
Which
gonna
ended up
say
being
his
a
piece.
positive.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah,
that
it
is.
worked out in the long run.
Yeah.
It took a lot of lumps in the short run, though.
Yeah. But we cool now, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we have a great relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We
We
healed.
talking about all the
We
bad
healed.
stuff.
Yeah,
All the beatings we got
had a lot more
going on.
healing to do than you did.
Yeah, thank
say
you.
like-
Like,
I was saying, we talking about a lot of,
We gonna get there, but we gotta talk about the best too. They gotta throw it on.
Air out.
That's been waiting
the
for
neighbor
this.
used to say, we can hear Leslie yelling all the way down the street at those boys. Because it was a lot of y'all. And I had to raise my voice. I had to let y'all know I was being firm. Because you were not going to run over me. I
See,
wasn't having that.
we thought you was really about that life. but now I know
It was fake.
it was fake.
Yeah.
You fake. Well, it was a facade, a front.
I had to do it.
Had to do
I
what
didn't
you had
want
to
you
do.
guys in the streets. I didn't want you guys getting caught up with gangs or doing anything wrong. You had to have that fear, because if you knew you were going to get in trouble with me or Dad, then, and you're out there in the streets doing something wrong, that would have stopped you.
I know one thing you used to say is, you challenge anybody to do what y'all did.
I wouldn't challenge anybody to do what we did. It was unplanned. It was by the seat of our pants, one day at a time, and thank God it turned out well.
Oh, talk about the age range that you had all of us.
So I was 21 when I got pregnant with Jordan, but by the time he was born, I was 22. And then when the twins were born, I was 28. So 6 kids. Jordan was 6 years old when they were born. So, yeah.
Man, that's like a statistical disaster. 21 when you had your first child, broke, because, you know what I'm saying, that was a long time ago, and money was hard to come by.
That's
You
no
would admit
secret.
that, right?
That's no secret.
Yeah, broke and
Beyond broke.
and married. That's uncrazy. Like, come on, like
Yeah.
statistics.
Tell the story you was writing bad checks so he could get groceries. Oh, my bad. You was saying you ain't know? You ain't know?
I knew. You just admitted to the world that mother's a criminal.
Hey, but that was way back when.
A federal.
Yeah, statute of limitations, but still.
No, it's all good. 'Cause
So
I'm
if
glad-
any one of us-
fixed
Keep
the
it a
problem.
buck, man. This is what we
listen,
had to do growing
If
up.
any one of
Okay.
us ever get caught scamming, y'all know where we got it from. In our roots.
Go ahead, boss.
I wasn't scamming, so see what happened was I went to the grocery store and I wrote a check. This was back in the day when you could write a check and it would take like several days to clear, right? So we didn't have the money at the time, but I figured by the time the check went through, we would have the money. And back then, Dad sold encyclopedias, so we were expecting some money to come in from some books that he had sold. Well, it didn't come in. And so, like, this was at that store. It's called, like, Supermax or something like that in Long Beach. The check went bad. The check bounced. And I got a letter in the mail that called me a bad check writer. And they were going to prosecute me if I didn't go to a bad check writer's class.
Criminal.
And, of course, I had to pay back, whatever the amount was. So I was mortified because I don't do anything wrong. I don't break laws. I don't steal. I don't even lie. But, and Dad still laughs at me to this day.
Not built.
That's funny. That's a good story, though.
You're a
Thank you,
scammer.
Lady.
That's a good story, man.
Nah,
Y'all
but-
did all that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was like a statistical setup for
was,
disaster.
right.
What,
Completely.
how y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, how y'all, because it's been 35 years now
Since when?
since y'all been married? How long you been married now?
30.
It'll be 34 this
34.
year.
In October.
34 years in October. 6 kids. Everybody's healthy and doing great. What's the secret, dog?
Seriously?
Yeah, what's the secret?
What do you think it is?
I mean, my secret different.
Not your secret. What do you think our secret was?
Oh, I don't know.
I think y'all having each other is the secret more than anything else.
You think that's the secret?
Mom's secret. I know mom's
I
secret.
already know what my secret
Wait.
I know what mom's gonna say. Her
Jesus
secret.
Christ.
Of course, God. Absolutely.
I pray.
That is the
No,
secret.
honestly. Honestly. I mean, that's a whole another story. But, your dad and I accepted Christ into our lives when I was pregnant with Jordan. And there's a whole story behind that as to why. And when Jordan was born healthy, all 10 fingers, 10 toes.
I was going to ask about that story, but I
Alert.
don't know if you want to tell it or not. But
Well-
that's completely up to you.
I think we should hold off on that.
Well, let me just say
It's up
this.
to Mom.
Let me just say this. When Jordan was born healthy and well, that was proof to me that God existed, and because I had prayed for that, and God rewarded me with what I had asked for, and that was it for me. It was the word all the way. It was prayer all the way. It was a relationship with God all the way, an authentic relationship. I didn't want, we're not religious. We have a relationship. And it's a loving relationship. It's not one where, it's not an arranged marriage, arranged by strangers. This is a real relationship that we have with God. And so that's really our secret sauce.
That's the secret sauce.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce.
I think it's cool that you just said that you're not religious. You have a relationship with God, like a connection. Because I just told Mom, you guys don't know this. I told Mom, we had a conversation, and I told her that I finally feel like I'm at a point where I have like my own personal relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like I read the Bible and do things that I feel like I should do. It's at a point now where I could just talk to God and have a conversation with him. Like, how I talk to my mother or, my father. Like, it's the same thing. Just having that conversation and that connection. And it's a great feeling. It's great
definitely
It's
something
amazing.
that comes as you get older and more mature and experience more life. You know what I'm saying? I know, and even in my early 20s, I thought, just take me back a couple years. You know what I'm saying? 2 years ago, really?
Yep.
Where you think you're doing all the right stuff, and of course that's like a service-based relationship or whatever it's called. But then, like, someday it hits you. You're like, you know what? Like, we've been cool like this whole time. I ain't had to do all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been straight this whole time.
Yeah.
So I feel that.
Yep.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to raising kids, man, because that's like, it don't matter what you say. Like, you can give me all the gems that work for you, and I can read all the books in the world, but those are my kids, my 4 kids that are completely different than how the 6 of us were when we were kids. And that's why it's important for everyone to have their own individual, like, you know what I'm saying, relationship.
Agreed.
Because
Yep, it is
God
important.
giving me completely different advice than he giving you.
You think so?
Man, I got 2 girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a different ball game,
It
man.
is. It
I got
is.
lip gloss and all the shows on
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. I got shirts being tied up,
To
you know
the
what I'm saying?
front,
Belly
yeah.
button shown, all that.
And they're
Yeah,
like
and
4
And
and
there's
6.
6 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good segue because that's one question that I did have for you, since you have 33 years of parenting experience and parenting, quite the load. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of us here. And so for people who, maybe starting their families or even have large families now, for someone who's been through it, war tested, got the scars to prove it, all that good stuff, what type of advice or what would be like some key points that you would like to give to the listeners as far as like, what are some things that you guys went through or things that kind of like helped keep your sanity and, just kind of made things easy for you guys as you went through the parenting process?
You mean as a in our marriage or as, parenting you guys?
That's parenting us.
Wow, that's a whole like volume. It's like a whole like book.
They need these gyms out here, though. You feel me?
Teach people how
I
to
mean,
raise
okay,
their kids.
so obviously in our case that we have each other, right? And so we did a good cop bad cop routine a lot of times. Like I was the bad cop because
Yeah.
I'm like the disciplinarian and Dad's the fun parent. But if he needed to like lower the boom, he could. But when he did, it had more impact because
We're both shaking our heads.
so, like,
Dad
good?
tossed it.
I got body slam.
you got body
I
slam?
got choke slam.
Choke slam.
Dad been watching too much WWE. I don't know what was going through.
I got
his
away
head.
scot-free.
All the
Did
time.
get away scot-free.
All the time.
It's all good. man.
No, it's
Maybe
just
tough.
having the 2 parents.
As an adult.
We always present ourselves as a united front. If we disagreed about anything, we wouldn't disagree in front of you guys.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's something that I learned from you guys because I'll be at home and I'll say something, and my teacher come behind me and say something different, and instantly I'm like, "Are you crazy? Yeah, don't you ever?"
So we had a way of making sure that we were on the same page in front of you guys.
Y'all was good at that, man. I would ask
Absolutely.
one of y'all for something.
Bro, that shit.
Y'all would say no.
You would think they had cell
Alright,
phones or
I'ma
something
get
back
you-
then where they texting each other. You know what I'm saying?
This is back when
I
they
go
had
to
pagers.
Dad.
It's like,
I asked for the same thing. What your mama say?
dog.
How you know I asked her?
Like, I even ask her. It's like, well, go ask her mama then. How about that?
As we older, they probably never did. You just assume.
No, I mean, we would tell you guys, if you ask me something, I tell you no, you
Yeah.
better not ask him because then you will get popped. Don't do that.
I did it all the time.
I remember that.
So,
That's how we learned how, okay, let's pick and choose who we ask and when we ask.
What
Where we asked was important.
But there'd be certain times where it's like, all right, I know I got a game over here at the park. Me and Dad about to ride home together. I'm going to ask him after the game here. Or it'd be like other moments where I know it's like, okay, we want to do something. Like if I wanted to spend a night at like a friend's house or something back in middle school.
that was always going to be a no.
That was
But,
no.
but up until 8th grade when like, you know, the people that we went to school with, you know, like your Travises and you know, those people.
Okay, yeah, you did.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember
but
you
like
said that right there.
I knew not, you know, certain times like, okay, this is something I gotta ask mom. Especially, you know, she got the parental relationships with the people over there and doing it. So it's like, okay, we had
and
to
then
learn.
I found out after y'all went out TPing people's houses and stuff. This is why I don't let you stay nowhere.
I sure did. Yeah.
Hey, look, man, look.
But I don't know. I mean,
we just having
that's
fun,
really
that's all.
the gist of it. Really.
Did you ever party when you had like we all born? And he's like,
College.
okay, I need a.
College?
You ain't party, you ain't go out at all with kids.
No.
Really? You ain't just step out?
No.
Say, hey, you know, here you go, Dad. Watch the kids. I'm going out with my friends.
Party? No.
Clubbing,
No. Definitely not.
bar hopping.
Definitely not.
Well, they gonna keep going down.
Day parties.
I mean, I would go out with my friends. We'll be to a restaurant or something. You know, every now and then there would be like a road trip. You know, maybe to Carlsbad or something like that. Maybe once every 5 years. You know, no. We were parents. We're full-time parents. So.
What was it that you enjoyed most about parenthood?
I loved watching you guys play sports at the park. I loved whenever you guys would be in a room laughing. That was like, you know, like my favorite thing. Y'all were doing whatever you were doing, and everybody would just bust out and start. Even to this day, I love it to to hear you guys laughing.
Yeah.
You know, teaching you guys, helping you with your schoolwork and stuff like that.
You sure you enjoyed that?
I did it all the time.
You
If I
did.
didn't enjoy
You did
it, I wouldn't have done
homeschooling.
it.
She did, though, man. She helped me graduate college, dog. College.
The statute of limitations isn't up on that yet. So,
Oh,
no.
man, I don't need my degree.
Yeah.
What was the least thing you enjoyed about parenthood?
I hated potty training. I hated potty training.
And that's on the
We
horizon.
never-
Lance.
Oh my God, that was so
It's
hard.
because Lance.
No, everybody. No, everybody. All of you guys.
crazy.
What are some keys and tips? Because I know we gonna need that.
Wait, but
Girls are easier. That's your first tip.
100%.
Girls are easier.
100%.
Yeah.
Who was the
Boys-
hardest person to potty train? Can I guess?
I want
Sure.
to guess too.
I think it was late.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it was you.
I think it was you.
I think it's Austin.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
It wasn't me.
I
Who do you
know.
think it was, man?
I thought everybody was gonna say me, but
Well, Mom
I'm
was looking at
I
that.
really don't remember.
I don't even know.
I don't remember. It became harder the more kids I had, because when you're
yeah, I
potty
know.
training, you have to zero in on that kid. You have to be watching. You know what I mean? And you know, lead when you see the little signs. You know, lead them to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, so that you can catch them using the bathroom. So the more kids I had,
Harder it is to do that.
harder that was. I remember somebody. I remember a story. We had hardwood floors in Long Beach, and I remember, you know, what I would do is I'd take off the diaper, and y'all would run around with no pants on, no diaper, so that you could see what's happening, and then you would know, okay, wait, that doesn't go on the floor, that goes in the bathroom. Somebody pooped on the floor
I remember that.
in the doorway and closed the door. I can't remember who it was, but I was like, I was at home by myself.
You remember who it
What
was,
with you
Oscar?
guys?
I remember that.
I
though.
remember the story.
I don't remember
remember
that.
it.
I don't remember
So
that.
I had to figure out, not only, like, it's easy to clean up poop off the hardwood floor, right? But how do you clean it out from under the
Underneath the
door?
That's nasty.
I was like, oh my God, is this
You know
my
what's
life?
so funny about that? Carter did that. He pooped on the floor.
And close the door?
Yeah, he pooped outside, under the door, and inside. And Kaden stepped in it, under the door, tracked it in the house.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
That's disgusting.
that was the worst. Other than that, driving. Like, I didn't really like, I didn't like riding with you guys, because it's like you have no control. There's no set of wheels or controls on my side, on the passenger side. So when y'all mess up, I heard what you said.
You want to verify that story?
I heard what you said.
Hey man, look,
I didn't cuss you out.
you cuss. Man.
I was cussing because I was scared.
When did I tell that story?
But I
What
didn't cuss
episode?
you out.
That was it the last
The
one or
last
two?
one, I think?
Either,
Or
no, it was
the-
probably two.
So you
Two
tell us from
episodes
your
ago.
perspective,
Okay.
because according to you, that was a near-death experience.
It was. And Drew was in the back seat, so you could have killed all
take me
three of
out,
us. Okay? No, you were just driving and you were approaching a intersection.
Wait, hold up. He was tripping the whole way, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
It wasn't.
No, I don't
I
remember.
feel like he was tripping that
But
whole
we
ride.
weren't going to take the interstate because I was uncomfortable getting on the interstate with you. Thank God we didn't do that. We could have ended up who knows where. So we were on the streets trying to take the streets all the way to Morehouse. Was it Morehouse?
It was Morehouse.
Okay.
From where?
The house.
From here.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Wait, no. So we got all the way up to like where Old Dixie was. Old Dixie is up there. So we got up there, and Austin decided he didn't decide anything. Like we were driving, and I said, "Okay, it's a yellow light. Stop." And he didn't. He just froze. He froze, and we coasted through a red light, and the other people had a green light, and I was like, "Oh my God." Like,
You were screaming at the top of your lungs.
stop the car! I was like,
Right before you said it's a yellow light, stop. In my mind, I was like, it's a yellow light, go. So my foot's on the gas, and then you like, stop, and I'm like, wait. I didn't commit, and that's why I coasted through the red light. I didn't know what to do. It was your fault though.
okay.
Just
Yeah, it was my fault. That's why I didn't get in the car with you no more.
So riding with us in potty training.
Yeah, that's probably the. Oh, and you were hard too. Like you had a mouth.
We was gone.
So it was like a battle of wills between the two of us. It was like a power struggle.
So I guess on the record, I was the hardest one to raise.
You were, but you got super easy after 16, whereas some kids get super difficult at that age. So I'll take that.
I'll take the struggle on the front end.
I'll take the struggle on the front end because on the back end it can be a whole nother thing.
Right.
You know.
That's facts.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, your microphone is too far.
I was gonna say yeah,
Pull it in a little closer.
Closer.
I had another question. I don't want to hog up the questions. So y'all got anything y'all want to ask?
I think the conversation's flowing nicely right
So
now.
we're talking a lot about parenthood. And
Okay, I think we're going the same way. You going ahead?
I think I was gonna go that same way.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was gonna go the same way
go
too.
there, but since you already started,
No, it's like we both started talking
Let's
at
all
the
just
same
say it
time.
at the same
Let's all
time.
stop.
No, go ahead. Like,
So we talk about parenthood, who you were as a parent, your experiences. Let's talk more about Leslie, who you were as Leslie and who you are today.
good question. Like,
You mean
Great
before
question.
parenting?
Before parenting.
I was at bookworm. I like to read. I like to write. I like
That didn't carry over.
to draw.
Yes, it did.
That did.
Jordan
For a while.
Jordan, bookworm.
I write.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should. speak
Lance
for
writes.
myself.
Drew be drawing.
Yeah.
I draw. I wasn't a reader. Also, the kid.
I loved listening to music. I love music. I loved lyrics. I would listen to music and write down the lyrics. This was before you could go on Google. There was no Google where you can look up lyrics.
You
You
write
guys
down.
are missing out. So I used to just listen to the songs over and over again and write down the lyrics. I played
That's how you
piano.
learned it.
I was just that solitary. I used to play Monopoly against myself. I was just that solitary kid. I just wanted to blend into the background.
I saw you playing solitaire the other day.
I played solitaire for the first time in years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You used to play all the time. I remember.
Real solitaire on the computer.
I still play
Yeah.
now. Doesn't matter.
No, I was playing it with the real cards this time.
Oh, I see.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to play solitaire. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't either. I never learned.
Really?
I got too many brothers.
What's wrong with y'all?
Right.
But anyways, continue, Mom.
So that's who I was. And then when I got to college, I kind of got out of my shell a little bit more.
Were you lit in college?
No, never been lit.
That's cap.
Big tap.
But I'm gonna let you finish.
I mean, it depends on what you call lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
You
don't know
turned up
what's
and
lit.
had fun. You had fun.
Turned up.
yeah, you know what I'm
Of
saying?
course I did.
Drank.
You gotta ask my friends.
You was drinking. You was doing.
I did that.
So we're gonna have your friends on the next podcast.
I had the fake ID.
Oh, the
You know what I'm saying?
You had a fake ID.
I did.
Did you ever smoke marijuana?
Never.
Okay.
I never smoked marijuana. I got like really close though a couple of times. One time I was with. Well, I'm not gonna. Well, never mind. I was with your dad. And he blew smoke into like my mouth or something like that. One
Shotgun.
time. I don't know what that's called.
That was
Shot
Chica,
shotgun.
huh?
But that was the only time. And then
Chief.
another time, me and a friend were in a car with a couple other friends. And they were smoking, and they offered us to smoke. And we almost did. But we were like, nah. And this was in college. And we were like, nah, that's okay.
So you haven't smoked yet at all.
No.
Secondhand.
Is it too late?
Yeah.
This nigga here.
Yeah, I don't think that's for me. I like my pure lungs. They're nice and pink on the inside. You know what I mean? I like that.
So what were your hobbies back then? What type of stuff did you love to do?
I mean,
She just said it right.
yeah, I kind of did.
She had just said.
I ain't want to be the one to
You
say.
want to listen?
There's other things I want her to get to.
Jordan was like,
Like
let me ask
what? Like
differently.
I mean, I didn't really have any other hobbies. I'm not,
Did
I'm
you
not
enjoy-
athletic.
Because I remember we used to talk about, you enjoyed modeling. And
You were a cheerleader
like
too.
there's other stuff that you haven't gotten to. I'm trying to pull up.
Oh, so I wanted to be a model at one time. Actually
I'm gonna put
did.
that picture up.
I actually did do some little modeling when I was in college, trying to break in, but it wasn't. What's funny?
I'm sorry.
You get used to it.
They're not
It's
laughing
all
at
the
you.
time.
They're not laughing at
It
you.
happens all the time.
I don't
Oh,
think.
it's me too. I'm way too goofy.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I did want to be a model. 5'9". I was a skinny girl, but then in high school, college, I had picked up some extra pounds, so like maybe 5 extra pounds or whatever. And you have to be real thin.
Right.
and that-
used to be.
And I wasn't that. And I started to get a little endowed, top. So, you know what I'm saying?
And they that was the standard of modeling back then. Now you'd be straight if you were to at that age get into modeling now.
Really?
Heck yeah. Matter of fact, they might say you too small right now. In 2021.
For real.
Facts.
But I'm really glad that I didn't do that because it was some crazy, weird stuff going on in the modeling world.
Cocaine.
Just
I didn't even know about that. I just meant like,
she grew up in LA. That's Hollywood in general. So
Yeah.
Hollywood was probably just weird.
I guess, but
Straight up.
yeah.
Holly weird.
Yeah.
Jordan, you pulled everything you wanted to pull out of her.
So what's up? What about now?
mean,
What you enjoy doing now?
Well, before we get that, I got a question.
Okay.
You said you write, of course, and as someone who writes and had their own journey and figure out how, like, I got into writing. How did you get into it? Like, what were the steps that you took to get into writing and stuff?
Writing? Well, I don't do the same kind of writing you do. I mean, you took what I did, and I feel like you've taken it to a whole nother level.
Ooh.
You're very creative in a way that I was not. I didn't nurture my creativity the way that you have. It wasn't an option for us back then. You go to college, you graduate, you get a job. For my case, I didn't get a job. I got a family. So I never
That's what's facts right
I
there.
never zeroed in on my potential as a writer the way that you've dedicated yourself a lot of time of yourself to do that.
And you really honed in on your writing over the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And during that gap of time, she had 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't
Wow,
writing
for real. Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you, kind of piggybacking off Blake a little bit, it kind of actually transitioned really well. But so you had all these hobbies, had all these interests, and then you had kids. So kind of talk to us about the sacrifices that you had to make as far as the things that you wanted to get into before you had the idea that you was going to have all these children. And I mean, obviously, we know you would answer like, was it worth it? But is there certain things that you wish you would have done over the course of pretty much from college to now that you didn't get to do because of us?
Yeah. So of course, when you're age 21 to 30, that's the age range that you guys are in for the most part. Some of y'all are a little bit past that, but that's when you really discover who you are, right? I didn't have the opportunity. I won't say opportunity. I didn't allow myself the opportunity for that. I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. I had friends who chose other options, but I was in love and I wanted to marry this guy, and he was nice to me. He made me feel special. Ended up realizing that he was my soulmate, and how often do you get that in your life, right? Especially coming from where I was coming from. I grew up without my father, and I didn't have any other male figures. I didn't have any male friends because guys were intimidating to me. So dad was like my best friend. He was like my boyfriend. He looked out for me like a father would, even though he was only like a teenager himself. So I had all these things wrapped up into one person. And so that was more important to me than finding myself at the time. So when you say sacrifice, yeah, there were times where I felt like I was sacrificing. I wish we had more money. I wish we had achieved some things in our 20s. I wish I had, finished school. I didn't even finish school. When Jordan was born, it kind of, took me in a different direction. I still had 1 semester left. I didn't go back and do that until 2003.
When you took all our money?
And that was the thing. Like we were struggling. We were struggling, and I needed to buy. What did I need to buy? Books or something like that.
Books. It was books.
I took everybody's Christmas money.
Yeah, took all our Christmas money,
You know,
bro.
but it paid off later. Everybody got a car.
See, this is, yeah.
Everybody got a car. Everybody got supported through college. You guys lived rent free for I don't know how many years.
I mean, looking
You
back
know what
on
I mean?
it, that's the least we could do, honestly.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, looking
Yeah.
back, but man, you 11, 10 years old, you could have some bread.
Yeah.
But she asked so nicely, I'll say that. It wasn't like she just came and just ganked all her money. She came like real, like nice, like for real. It was,
Nah, they would say, all right, we're going to hold this up and put it at the top of the counter. Or
that
the
didn't
cabinet.
happen. That ain't what I
I
remember.
don't remember that
I remember
at all.
she like went to each one of us and she was like, "Hey, I'm going back to school, and I need you guys to help. You guys have this."
She also
Christmas money."
said she would pay us back though. I mean, of course, you guys paid us back in other ways for sure. You guys all,
In
you know,
droves.
When was this
in
conversation?
droves. But
know.
that exact
How was
$20.
it
But
with
it
you
definitely
guys?
happened.
You were younger.
Yeah.
So I probably
Yeah.
didn't have it with you.
took it.
I just took it probably. Yeah.
Damn, are you saying we
she's-
have an outstanding debt?
No,
Not no
you,
more.
You don't have the
This is a different line item.
At that time, as a kid, I did think I was going to get that money back.
Every day I look forward to getting that $7.
No, you guys, it was like
It was
60.
like
20.
60. I
Yeah,
remember being
everybody had
it
like
was like
$60 or
$60.
something like that.
It was a
I
good
thought it was
No,
like
but
20.
she definitely, it wasn't like where she just took it. She definitely
Yeah.
like told us why she needed it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, we want to help moms out. We don't really,
Dreamwork.
do too much to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Tapped into that inner salesman that dad had and just said, "Oh,
Yeah.
let me get that." We was all like, "Okay, we got you."
so what are you doing now to try to, I guess, atone for some of the things that you weren't able to do?
I wouldn't even say atone. Like life
Not
is about
atone, but,
choices. Life is about choices, and I'm realizing as I get, especially as I watch you guys, Austin, you and Fantasia, and all them kids. I don't beat myself up so much anymore because I see you guys trying to do it all at the same time, and I
see
realize
how
I
hard it
couldn't.
is.
I couldn't have done that, and it's as hard as I see that it is on you. I know it would have been the same level of difficulty for me, and so I have given myself grace now. And when I had to put some of y'all in front of the TV to watch Nickelodeon for several hours, I used to beat myself up about that, but now I don't. Because it was necessary. If I had to sit down with you to go over your textbooks and reading comprehension and things like that,
Trash at reading comprehension.
Nickelodeon was
Or-
educational.
or if I had to, cook dinner or clean something or whatever, you just have to
did
balance
what
your
you
time
could.
and do the best that you can.
You did what you could.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you feel like you have to because I know I say this a lot. People are like, oh, you do everything for your kids. Actually, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I do a lot of stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you didn't do looking back on? Do you feel like you didn't pour into Leslie enough in the?
I used to feel like that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
But you know what? Like, in retrospect, I mean, honestly, like, I had dad. Dad poured into me. And a lot of women don't have that.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of women have husbands and they still don't get poured into.
Let me
So,
ask you a question real quick. Before you had all the kids, if you were able to see the choices between having kids, knowing how that would be and how it would turn out, or choosing to I guess, not have kids, well, not at that moment, but pursue your dreams and what you wanted to do, which one would you have chosen?
that's easy.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
Well,
would do
okay,
it
say you
again.
didn't know the future of having kids, but you were to have kids, either have kids or pursue your dreams.
If I didn't know the outcome
Yeah.
today,
If you didn't know the outcome of either, what would you have chosen?
that's tough. Like, I don't know.
I would have chose kids.
That's a tough choice,
Because
though.
I see myself in that situation right now. I ain't choosing no kids.
Well, you know what I love about choosing to have kids when I did is because I'm still young enough
To enjoy.
It's almost like we grew up together, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I was young enough to run around and play with you guys, wrestle on the floor, and toss the
Don't
football.
bring that shit.
Don't take that on the floor. Sorry. Don't wear that on the floor with you, mom.
We talk about that.
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay.
We got you.
Toss the football around and stuff like that. Like, it was, and play basketball with you. Remember how you tripped me up and made me fall?
That was your fault.
No, it was your fault.
You can't try to steal the ball
You got crossed?
for no reason.
I didn't get
So
crossed. He tripped me.
I made a move, and you fell to the ground, and you laid there for like 18 minutes.
On the concrete. on my knees
in Long Beach, and it was
But
hot.
she just
at
was
the school.
I remember
in
exactly
front
where
of
you were.
everybody.
Right there in front of the cafeteria, by where the soda machines.
I could have sworn that joint happened in slow motion.
Right in front
Y'all
of
know y'all know that meme of like Simba like trying to wake up.
Simba.
That's what that was. Wake up
All of
Mufasa.
them just out.
It's like get up, bro, get up. For real.
Well, no,
Had to stop the basketball game and everything. It's like, hold up, y'all.
I don't regret that. Like, and you know, I'm glad that, like I said, I'm glad that we're still young enough to be able to relate a little bit. I know I'm a different generation from y'all and stuff like that, but I still feel like I can relate, you know, to you guys. I feel like you can relate to me, and I love that. I love our relationship now.
Right.
I mean, I always loved our relationship, but I just mean like I love how it's evolving even more. So no, I wouldn't do anything.
I think it's dope now. You guys have you have an empty nest, but you have the benefit of 20 years worth of like experience. You know what I'm saying? To now use that wisdom and experience and do something with it at an older age. Whereas most people, like not most people, but some people choose to go their 20s into their lower to mid 30s without kids. But during that time, we're making mistakes. We're still learning stuff, and then you put kids on top of that, and then you go another 20 years until you really have the freedom to capitalize on what we learn throughout that process.
It's a lot of learning.
I know.
Yeah, you're just getting started.
I know.
God bless you.
What's the greatest lesson you learned in parenthood?
In parenthood, I would say the most recent lesson is learning how to let go. That's I don't know how it is for fathers, but for myself as a mother, that's the hardest thing. And as a daughter, as myself being a daughter, I can envision that, and I see that happening, you know, my own relationship, you know, with my mother. I don't feel like we ever were able to let go effectively. And so that has created conflict, you know, and friction in our relationship. And learning from that friction, I don't want to replicate that in our relationship. I want to be able to let you know that I can let you go to be you and do you. There's only so much molding and shaping that parents can do. I was just telling the girls upstairs, like, it's like cake batter. If you forget to put an ingredient in and you take it out of the oven, it's too late to put the ingredient in at that point. All you can do is put the frosting on, which means the love, the affection, the sweetness, the kindness, that's really at that point, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you can't mold and shape that after it's come out of the oven. Oh, you only end up hurting it. Can you imagine you got a cake that has come out of the oven
earthquake cake that you made?
and exactly like the earthquake cake I made for your birthday that time.
Was that my birthday? Or
It was
it
your
Jordan's?
birthday. It was a lemon
It
cake,
was jacked up my cake.
and it was jacked up.
It tasted good though.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, imagine forgetting to put eggs in the cake and then trying to crack an egg and throw it in
On
the
top of the cake after it's already
Yeah.
been baked.
Yeah.
No, you can't. So, you know, while you have your kids and they're young, now's the time to put all the ingredients
As
in.
many as possible.
Because if you don't, when they're teenagers, when they're in their 20s and out of college, it's too late.
Yeah.
You know, you can't fix anybody at that point.
What would you do differently to fix Drew? Drew's cake is baked, but imagine you can go back in and put one ingredient. And how
You know
would you fix
what?
this man?
Jordan's girlfriend Akia asked me one time, it was a really good question, if there was anything that I could do differently in raising you, what would it be? And the only thing that I wish I had done was instilled more discipline when it came to, you know, being clean and organized and neat. You know, I didn't do that because, you know, when you have a bunch of males in the house, you got to pick your battles. I didn't want to have an environment in the house where I was constantly nitpicking about, you know, pick up your socks, fold your clothes, clean that, do, you know what I mean? But now, you know, when I see you guys as living spaces, I'm like, oh my God, like, I wish I had taught you guys, you know. I wish I had been cleaner, you know what I mean? But I was overwhelmed, you know.
There's only so much you could do.
There was a lot of y'all.
I'd like to say I'm a lot cleaner now.
Since when?
Sure.
A couple weeks ago?
Hey, I made a pretty big transformation in these past few months, okay? So I am clean.
Don't look in my room. That thing messy.
I wasn't going to name any names.
Tornado.
I wasn't gonna name any names, but that's the one thing I wish I had instilled in all of you.
Yeah, I appreciate the way you answered that question and not single me out.
Yeah.
Paul.
That was a good segue because that does bring me a question, and this one actually isn't directed at Mom, but to the rest of you guys.
Okay.
So, what do you guys feel would be one takeaway, I guess, or one lesson that Mom has taught you that is pretty much, or just anything about Mom that has stuck with you, that you feel like, you know, like what would, I guess, be your definition, environment, or whatever of Mom in you? So, like for me, for example, like how kind she is, I guess, is kind of one thing that kind of molded me and my character. Like, you know, the one thing about me, regardless of other things, I'm naturally a kind person. At least I try to be as much as I can. You know, I'm naturally a kind person. And a lot of that is attributed to, you know, just seeing how you would, you know, just deal with your, you know, interactions with, you know, parents at our basketball and football games, you know what I'm saying? Or how you would deal with us, which, you know, you did have to, you know what I'm saying, raise your voice or do whatever you had to do in certain moments. But naturally, you've always been a very kind person. And so that's something I would say for me that definitely rubbed off, and I always try to take into all of my other dealings and interactions with other people is, you know, as at least giving everybody that respect of me being kind to them. Mm-hmm. And so, with that being an example for me, what's something that y'all take away that y'all think y'all learned from Mom?
I gotta think about that.
Thanks, Jordan.
Because I'm not kind.
Too.
You said you're not kind?
I'm not kind.
I'm the same way. I'm kind too, Jordan. I'm very kind. Just like I've realized over these like the past years or so that we talked about it before. I'm just like my mom.
Yeah, you're very much like her.
We're just like
That's what Lake always says.
we are like, you know, there's certain things you don't even have to say I know what you're thinking because we got the same mind. It's all the same. It's all the same, and I think it's pretty cool to just to witness. Honestly, like I mean, we both right, of course. We're both kind. We're both, you know, shy and reserved, and I think it's cool that I picked up a lot of the qualities that you have. You know, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Aw.
I ain't nice.
Lake and Drew are the meanest ones in the family.
But something I did pick up was having a relationship with God early
That's what
on.
I was gonna say.
Early on, I was like pre-teens. I know I had a relationship with God. I would talk to him a lot, pray at night. I would hear advice from him, things to do, not to do. The relationship, we're still strong, but you know, as you get older, you make more mistakes. But just that relationship, not religious, going to church every day. There's nothing wrong with that. But just having that personal relationship is something that I took from my mama. Yeah, I can say that confidently.
I think we all kind of took that from, you know, mom and dad. You know, they always instilled that in us to have that relationship with God. You know, we always read the Bible. We had Bible study on Sundays. We didn't go to church like that, but, you know, she made it a point to make sure that we all, you know, sat around and had Bible study, discussed it and stuff like that. But I will say, you know, you could do all that you want, like instill it within us, but we got to build that relationship with God on our own. And that's something that I'm just now, honestly, getting to that. I'm just now getting to that point where I talk to God every morning, every night, and just honestly, like just building that connection with God. And it's cool to have that connection.
You need it, man.
It really is.
If I ain't have it, I don't know where I would be right now.
Yeah.
You would probably be in jail.
Probably. No cap.
Oh, really?
No, hey, yeah.
I made a lot of dumb.
That's real.
I made a lot of dumb
bro.
decisions, but
That's real.
I've made a lot of wise decisions based on my relationship with God.
That's awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, since building this relationship with God, like I can hear God more so now clearly than I ever
That's
have
so
in my
awesome.
life. Like I can just pick up the signs like that. When it's something that I know I shouldn't be doing, I hear it louder than I ever have. You know, and
I've always
that's
told
cool.
you guys to find God in your lives or accept Christ into your heart when you're young. Mm-hmm. Because when you're young is when you're building the foundation for your future. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When it comes to your health, when it comes to the people who come into your life, you know, your opportunities, the women that come into your life, your children, you know, the protection, you know, like Psalm 91 protection. Those things are building blocks when you're young, so that when you're older, you can reap all of the rewards, you know, of your obedience in your youth. Because it's hard to be obedient when it's easy to be obedient when you're old.
And married.
Right.
I'm single in these streets. It's hard.
God
hard
bless
out
you.
here.
God bless you.
God bless you, man.
I don't think it's that hard,
But-
but I mean that's my personality. Though, so.
I was gonna say that, but I don't. In an effort to not be repetitive, I'm gonna try to like talk through my what I guess the best lesson I probably got from you was just like the act of love, for real. Whether it's tough love, whether it's just, you know, the nurturing, and then just, you know, having a, you know, relationship with somebody who brought you into this world, and having like seeing like how much she cares and loves for you, even like through like all the, excuse my French, all the ass whoopings I got, like throughout all of that, like it wasn't never a moment where I felt like you didn't love me or that you didn't love any one of us. So, and like, and even though like it took a lot of discipline for me to kind of like finally like get to that point, like you said, when I was 16, I got a lot easier. Just like seeing the love that you poured into all of us, I think set up a good foundation for us to, I guess, you know, propel forward and, you know, have our own loving relationships that we have with
Man, it takes effort to discipline.
our wife and our, you know, our wives, girlfriends, kids. Just the lesson of love more than anything for me is what I took from what we got. I don't have any more specific examples.
That's awesome.
I'll piggyback off that real quick. Man, it takes effort to discipline, man. So we may think that, you know, they just want to punish us, but
Yeah.
it's in our best interest. They could just sit back and just, you know, well, they, you know, let them do what they do.
Yeah.
That's not really love. You
That's
feel
the
me?
easy
So
decision.
that's the easy route. So yeah, you know, of course nobody wants to get spanked, get thrown against the couch,
There's 6 of y'all.
put up against the wall.
You about to say shot next?
But no,
No one wants to get cursed out, but at the end of the day, it's all for a greater cause.
that's real though, because with me, you know, as a parent now, like I'm still like trying to like psych myself out into figuring out like how I'm gonna discipline my child, like and discipline my daughter. Like I have no idea like how I'm gonna do it, and I know there's gonna be times where she does things and I'm gonna want to just let it ride. I know I'm not gonna let it ride, but it's gonna be times where like it's gonna be hard to do, and it's gonna be hard to see like if there's ever a moment where I'm disciplining her. Not saying I'm gonna put my hands on her, but disciplining her to the point that she cries or something like that. That's gonna be hard. I know that's gonna be hard for me to deal with. So
Right.
It's not
to your
gonna be
point,
as hard as you think.
it's the easy way.
I can be on the other side.
I
of
can
the
see
fence.
Melody already.
It's
Bro,
not
she
gonna
do that
be-
now, bro. You know, Puss in Boots.
I'm sorry.
Y'all kids are all cute now. Wait till they start getting on your nerves.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say I'm appreciative of, you know, in the situation, the relationship that I'm in now, is, you know what I'm saying, my girlfriend now has a 9-year-old daughter, and so every now and again, you know, in the dealings that we have, you know what I'm saying, like she, you know what I'm saying, may act a certain way about something that I may not, you know, particularly agree with, especially with my type of personality. You know, naturally I'm chill until you know, I gotta be something else. And so when I get pushed to that point, sometimes when you're dealing with, you know, like a child, you know, you're dealing with somebody else that you care about, you can't just, you know what I'm saying, fly off the handle. You can't just, you know, say or do whatever you want. So it's like, you know, that consciously I'm sitting there, it's like, okay, so what's the best way for me to talk to this person or
And that ain't even your kid.
of course, I mean, it's still
hard.
like, you know, but you know, like it's, you know, my woman is my woman. If that's her kid, you know, I'm gonna treat her like she's mine also.
Absolutely.
So you know what I'm
but
saying?
You can't push
But
that
like, exactly,
too much, right?
What's crazy is I actually just had that conversation with her 2 days ago,
Yeah.
where I was saying like, you know, we had a situation. I was like, hey, yeah, you know, this is what happened, you know, and it's kind of hard for me sometimes to really get into that, you know, disciplinary yin type mode, because it's like, you know, you have a mom, you have a dad, you know what I'm saying, and I don't want to ever feel like, especially from the other father's perspective, I don't want to feel like I'm stepping on his toes and doing something extra. I don't know what he got going on, you know, over there, but it's like, you know, I don't want to, you know, infringe upon that. And then on top of that also, you know, with being the bonus parent, it's like, you know, you don't want to feel like you're towing a line that she's gonna automatically, you know, push you to the side, and you know what I'm saying, because it's like she doesn't really owe much to me as you know, as an outsider. So it's like, you know, having to navigate that is kind of a good enough preparation for, you know, when Mia does get older. And it's like, okay, so by learning, you know, how I kind of, you know, interact with you in certain situations, kind of giving me a little bit of a head start in practice, you know, going into, you know, when Mia becomes of age and she started doing some of those same exact things, it's like, okay, at least I have some experience in dealing with it.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all can
So-
see how Cadence and Kaylin turned out, and depending on how they turned out, you can either do what I did or do the exact opposite.
Here's what I would say.
The
Okay,
exact
we talked
opposite.
about the Bible before. What does the scripture say?
He says, spank that child.
Thou shalt whip it with 10 slashes.
I'll take the hand of God.
It says not to spare the rod. That's what it says.
Okay, but it also says train up a child
In the way they should
in
go.
the way he should go, so that when he is old, he doesn't depart from it.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that. Like, and what Dad always says is, you pay now or you pay later. So if you put in the time and the energy, and it is difficult to discipline another human being, because when we come here, we're a whole human already. So you're trying to instill discipline in a human that's already got, instincts within them. And if you don't train that child in the years when you have influence and control and power, what happens later is you reap those rewards or consequences. You know what I mean?
That's what I tell my clients, man. You either pay now or pay later. You could eat that cake, you eat some of that candy, go crazy with the alcohol, but then later on you're gonna pick up some pounds.
It's the candy for me.
It's the candy
What's your
for you.
lesson, Austin?
I have to think really hard about it, but I think what you said, like train a child in the way that they should go. So for me, it's the importance of like having integrity. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
Even to this day, like not too long ago, I went to Kroger and I bought all my food, put all my stuff in the cart, and there were 2 cans of tuna at the bottom of the cart, and I know I didn't pay for them. And I went back in and paid for them joint. It's like $1 and some change for 2 cans of tuna, but it was a principle. It's like, man, like, I'm not finna steal this.
Austin came
I did the same thing.
No,
long
I'll still lie. I just don't cheat. I don't steal. I'll lie to you though.
You gotta work on that.
I'm just
Now,
playing,
see,
I'm
here
just
we go
playing.
again. I can't.
No.
No more molding and shaping
If
is
I'm being
done. But you already
completely
know.
Man, being completely honest, that is wired into the fabric of my being. Like, I lied. However, I don't like. I ain't feeling like. It ain't nothing crazy. It might be something like just completely stupid, or I'll just tell a story. I'm a creative storyteller.
You know what I learned years ago?
That's why I try to tell you.
And I believe it was from Fred Price, who recently passed away, R.I.P.
All right.
Rest in peace.
Reverend Dr. Frederick Casey Price III, I believe.
Crenshaw
Christian Center. What I learned from one of his teachings, lots of his teachings, was if your word is not good, then how can you have faith when you pray?
Facts. I like
Right?
that, yeah. How can you speak things
How
as
can
though
you,
they were or not to do?
Speaking things
Speaking
that
things that are not as though they were.
they're not
What was that scripture back in the day that Austin butchered?
He
Y'all know what I'm
butchers
talking about? It was something about a needle in the haystack or something. Nobody else remember that?
No, I don't. I don't remember that.
Oh, get a needle in the eye or something.
No, he said, it's harder for a man.
It's harder for a man to get through the eye of a needle than it is to find a needle in the haystack.
I say it's hard for a man to get into heaven than it is to find a needle in the haystack. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you gotta get your word right. That's something that I always worked on with you. Oh my gosh, and it still is an issue.
It's a part of who I am.
Austin convinces himself of his own lie.
No.
This man.
It ain't. It's not pathological. At that point, I would be, I would be something else.
Hey.
But I know it's never nothing crazy. That's just, that's just who I am. However, when it comes to like dealing with like, telling the truth about serious things and not stealing the important stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty honest guy. Integrity is, it's the number one thing.
I got that one.
Integrity,
for sure.
We all
Especially
have.
me.
Every time I'm about to steal something, there's this voice in the back of my head. You better not.
Yep.
You better put this.
Check cash.
Every time.
I ain't gonna lie.
I had a
There's been quite
similar
few
story.
moments that voice was silent in the mug.
I was trying to ignore it.
That voice was like, no, bro.
No, I had a similar story twice. I had left some paper towels under the cart and forgot to pay for it. Walked out, put all the groceries in the car. Cool. Forgot it was there, and I went back and paid for it. And then there was another time where I had some beer at the bottom of the cart, and I'm gonna just be honest. I thought about going back to pay for it, but I was like, nah. I took it, but at the same time, I felt so bad. Like for like the next few days, I'm like, dang, I really should have went back and paid for that. So every time I make a mistake, I think about you and, you know, the integrity that you instilled in us. And every time I just do something wrong, like, I feel it. Like,
So
for the
how
next
did you
few
feel
days.
when you were drinking those beers?
You know, man, it didn't make me sick, but you know, I think at the time, I'm like, hey, this some good ass beer.
These always taste better when they
It tastes good, but once it's gone, it's like, dang, that's. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say that perfect.
I feel bad too for like 5 minutes, and I get over it.
Nah, it lasts a lot longer for me. It lasts a lot longer
You
for
guys
me.
have to remember that you're sowing seeds. Everything that you do.
Yeah.
I feel like
You're
for me,
sowing
my
seeds.
karma come quick. I remember one time me and Jordan,
Likewise.
we went to go hoop at Emory, and normally I think you're supposed to like pay to hoop, and we ended up finessing and getting into the gym for free, and you know we hooping. Jordan, he's fine. Wait, what happened?
That's bad.
I ain't feeling bad for that one.
Let me finish. We balling. I went on the court for 2 minutes, and it was a loose ball. I'm going for a loose ball. Somebody comes and hits like this part of their hand right here on my eye. I'm still playing. 2 seconds later, it's blood gushing all over my face. So I gotta leave. I ended up getting probably like 5-6 stitches right there.
You was in college, right? Georgia State.
I don't know if I was in school or not. I might have just graduated or I was at Georgia State.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, no, I had to be in college because Jordan was at Emory. That's the scar that I got right here. Was from that. And it probably cost me a lot more money to go to the doctor to get this taken care of than if I would have paid that $5 to get in the gym.
Or you could have paid $5 to get in the gym and had your eye busted.
Could have had that.
So you still came out favorable.
But my karma comes quick.
Perspective.
So, you know, not to say, you know, that's not that big of a deal. But even like the small
It's the
things,
small
it's just
stuff,
like
man.
you got to make sure you do the right thing, no
know, one
matter
thing-
how big or
yeah.
small. Because if you're doing it with the small things, how you think somebody gonna handle it if it's something big?
Let me tell you, I had to change who I was when I had all of you. Not to say I never stole or anything like that, but I had to take my level of integrity higher. Because in terms of my word, being truthful and honest, I had to step that up because I wanted my prayer to have weight.
Yeah.
You know, prayers of a righteous man availeth much is what the word says. So I had to be as righteous as I could, not in myself, but through Christ, so that my prayers would stick. Because I had 6 of y'all to pray for, you know. And I really believe that the seeds that I sowed, that your dad and I sowed in the early years, we're reaping the benefits of that now because we hear so many stories about young African American males. And y'all have been spared all of those
Man,
consequences.
Right.
And I believe it's not
Especially
just
in
my
California.
prayers, but the prayers of
Y'all
my
got us up out of there.
grandmothers and ancestors.
All them
you
prayers,
know.
we need that.
And you need that for your children, you know, your future children or your current children.
Pray
You
for
need
my
to-
kids.
Yeah,
You and
because
Drew. I need you and Drew to pray for my kids.
Don't you be?
You know, this one.
Those
Tell
are
y'all
your
what I
kids.
want, and I'm gonna have y'all pray for it, just in case.
Yeah.
okay.
There's one thing that mom always says, and still says to this day. She always says, we can't do what other people do because we're children of God. You know, that always stuck with me.
They get away with stuff doesn't mean that you're gonna get away
Yeah,
with it.
That's
exactly.
a fact.
Exactly.
I mean, that goes just for like just being y'all kids. We still couldn't do stuff that other people could do, right? We couldn't go spend the night at people's house. We couldn't take trips. We would miss field trips sometimes.
Did you?
Absolutely, we
Can't
didn't
hide him.
go to Big Bear. Actually, we moved out here.
Yeah, we moved.
You guys went to all the field trips.
I don't
Well,
think so.
there were things that we couldn't do, or that you guys wouldn't let us do.
like fundraising. We
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
participate in none of that at school. But
Yeah, we weren't doing that. I was gonna hit up everybody I know just to make a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Selling candy that nobody shouldn't be eating anyway.
yeah,
That's facts.
Hey, remember the Airheads?
Dog, I just had that same thought, bro. For the Lakewood basketball team, we ate all them Airheads, dog.
And then we ended up having to pay for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad had a grip of them too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Too. It was crazy is we probably had to pay like what $22.50 something like that.
Wow, why do you remember that?
I don't know, but that box of Airheads in Sam's Club is probably like $5. And we just like, don't give me candy to sell.
I'm like, what?
I get high on supply.
See what happened to the
The
knowledge?
thing was, I did it freshman year, but then sophomore year, I was
yeah.
just like,
Went stupid.
We used to go crazy.
So I have a question for you guys. What was it about your upbringing that you feel like you missed?
That we missed?
Yeah, that you wish you had done or wish you had experienced differently or whatever.
ingredient ain't in y'all cake?
Yeah.
Facts.
What ingredient isn't in your cake?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. The
question.
only thing I could think of, I wish we went to public school.
I just wanted to do hood rat
did
things
go
with my
to
friends.
Yeah, you took us out.
You guys went to public school, homeschool.
She ain't let us do
Catholic
hood rat
school.
things with our friends. That's what I wanted to do.
You took us out at the prime years of being in school, in middle school. One, we were just about to, play football and basketball for the school. Took us right out, homeschool. And that's, when you're in middle school, 7th, 8th grade, that's a yeah. You took us out, homeschool. It's just me, Lake, and Blaine, man. That's the only people I look at.
I'm sorry, Pumpkin.
It's all good. It's all good. So that's the only thing I feel like I've missed. I mean, you did put us in private school, which was cool and all, but I did want to go to public school. I did want to play sports in middle school and stuff like that. I feel like, I'm quiet now, but I feel like a big reason why I'm so quiet is because I missed those years.
You think so?
I do, honestly. Because when I went back to school, Lake will tell you, I had no social skills. None. The only reason why I got through is because I played quarterback.
Did you have social skills before you were homeschooled?
Yeah,
Oh.
I did. I mean, I was still.
It was just
Like
it was like time passed without us. It's like we was frozen in time. When we got back to school, there was doing so many things.
Yeah.
There was twerking. I'm trying to get a dance. Twerk. I'm dancing with her.
What to do.
Everybody looking like, what you doing, bro? I said,
Like lingo, certain lingo, man. I just was not hip to. Someone was like, "Hey, man, they choosing on you." I said, "They who? They doing what? What does choosing mean?" There was a lot of stuff that I just did not know.
It's interesting.
For me, I don't think I missed out on anything. Something that I wish I could have had growing up. We moved around a lot. So before I was born, y'all moved around. Then we got to Long Beach, then we moved to Atlanta. We just kept moving. And I never really had that same group of friends I could grow up with. Right? It's always just switching friend groups. And I think nowadays it translated into I have friends, but it's harder to hold on to them closer than what I have been. They're just friends and associates, right? So just like a group of friends I could grow up with and call my own little homies, own little gang. But she got my gang right here.
Feel me?
Fact.
Feel me? So
Fact.
but that's it though. We was moving around a lot. We always moved, running. So wherever God led us.
Yeah.
Is one I want to go? I'm still kind of like formulating my thought.
yeah, I'm formulating mine also, low key.
I'll go. I don't. Y'all. First off, I'll preface by saying y'all made the right decision. But I wish.
You stayed in Cali.
No, I mean, I got over that, and I found a great group of friends that I grew up with here.
There you go. There you go.
Drew does have the best group of friends.
Out of everyone.
But I mean, kind of relating to that point, I kind of wish we like grew up like from elementary to like 8th grade. Those years, I wish like we grew up around like more kids like us. That's what I wish that we had. And obviously, in the environment that we grew up in, you couldn't send us to the neighborhood school. We had to go to 20 minutes away to the white school, Coverly, and those are the friends that we ended up having. And I got a little, people at school used to always be like, "Oh, you talk white, you do this, that, and the third. Like your grade's good, you should have been white." Like stuff like that. Like
For real?
yeah, bro.
Y'all was getting that?
Well, yeah, I could. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
This, that, but not you.
But-
You're cool.
But yeah, I wish I was able to, I don't know, be around like kind of like how we came out here. It's, people like us getting good grades and all that. I wish we were able to go to a school with people who were more so built like we were, as far as like people not treating us no type of way for being smart. and things like that. Not to say that we would have got that at Lindbergh or Jordan or any of those schools, because we saw what happened firsthand.
There are some black people at Cumberly. That all we have.
Pull up one of them pictures, bro. I'm probably the only black kid in pretty much all my classes.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
like, also in like the accelerator.
That's my point,
whatever
though.
the case may be and stuff too.
Yeah. So, and I don't. Y'all made the right decision, but like I feel like that's one thing I wish I had, like that I look back on. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I had a lot of fun on the block. And all that. So we had a great childhood. But I don't pretty much I may talk to like one or two people from those years that I went to school with. Because, I mean, I was just friends with the kids in my classes and all that. But, you know, the kids who weren't in our classes, they would look at me differently. But classes where you generally form your friends, because those are the people that you in class with all day. But that's pretty much
A little confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
I think the only thing I can think of, because I relate to a lot of what Lake was saying, which is pretty much kind of what you were saying also, Drew. You know what I'm saying, having those friends, because you know what I'm saying, you know, I had kindergarten in one school, 1st through 3 another school, 4th through 8 another school, 9, 10 another school, 11, 12 I was here. You know what I'm saying, I you know what I'm saying, along with us moving around, I was moving around, you know what I'm saying, so I never really also had like, you know, that set thing, which I think also kind of helped me in the long run as far as not being too attached to a lot of people. Because, you know, people out here be moving crazy and stuff. Like, you know, one of the other things that I always appreciate you for, which I'm not going to get into on this podcast, was, you know, how we found out about, you know, that one situation with the homie and
yeah.
She don't know what you talking about.
She knows. She's the one that put me on game, actually.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like little things like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Little things like that where it's like, okay, you know who's really in your corner and who's not. So I wasn't really too mad from that aspect, at least as of now, looking back at the grand scheme of things. But the only thing I could think of would being like, you know, wishing we could have been a little closer to like, you know, our cousins and other family members and stuff like that. Because like I do have questions sometimes as far as like, you know, I wonder what, you know, how our other family is doing, or, you know, who are these people, or, you know, I wonder what they would have been like, how our relationship could have been had we, you know, grown up being older. And I do understand, you know, why we were kept away from some of them.
That's on top of your dad.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that next month. But at the same time, it's like, you know, just, you know, even on her side of the family, like, you know, knowing who are, you know, who's out there in New Orleans, you know, family-wise.
But I didn't even know them.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? Those would be like questions that like I would have as far as like, you know, okay, what did I miss? I can't really say I missed too much.
And moving here, actually, you know, you got to form a relationship with your cousin Jasmine,
On your side.
and
Exactly.
P and Tara. So,
Exactly. So
Shout out to
you know,
them.
yeah.
Another thing, I wish I was, because I started 9th grade, I was hooping in high school, and then when we came out here, it was a rap for that. So I wish I had
happened?
4 years of hoops. But
You didn't make the team.
anyways.
He didn't make the cut. It was good enough.
Yeah. Well, no.
To Drew's point, they played.
Let me talk about
Shiloh
that
locked
time.
him down. Hey.
That's the story Shiloh tell. I don't even remember for real. But that's kind of like my point. So you remember like when we was going to Lakewood, you get in by starting the summer before school starts. So they get to know your game. They get to do this, that, and the third. You come out here, I came to Georgia, shoot, you have one bad day,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap.
And they
That's
already
what happened to
play
me, so they didn't
favoritism,
know
I'm
who I
sure.
was. Yeah, they did. They
Yeah.
definitely played favoritism. But, I mean, still, like, you know, you have a bad day of tryouts, and that's a wrap. You didn't get to, like, establish, like, who you really are. You got 2-3 days to try
I
out.
feel that.
they low-key played favorites
One
too
bad
back
day.
then.
I feel like that's every high
They did.
school.
Like, I
why you gotta come
remember
with it.
Yeah.
my senior
Hey, Lake tried out for me. I didn't have to try out.
I remember that. He was injured or something.
I had a
at that
broken
time.
collarbone. Lake
It was
ball,
the same
Lake ball
situation,
out.
man. They had 8th grade team, JV team, and I think I was trying out for varsity sophomore year. Everybody was trying out for varsity, but
What year did you start high school, though?
10th grade
10th grade.
Yeah, sophomore year.
at the private school, yeah. So yeah, everybody had favoritism, but I was balling. You feel me? You couldn't
was
deny
balling.
me. What's
Hey,
up?
Laker ball, Lance
Sign
ball
me up.
too.
I don't know why they signed Lance up.
Hey, I looked.
I remember you were working really hard to improve your skills because you didn't have the size. You
I always worked hard.
and you didn't have the speed, but you really built up your speed. You're working on your legs.
Yeah, you're a lot faster.
And he wasn't as tall as he is. Like, you guys were, like...
I was always athletic. I had a lot of my game I needed to work on, and I did.
But you worked hard, you
Feel me?
know. You worked hard. I remember that.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Hey, all right. I kind of feel like everybody answered the question a little differently.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I mean, nah. Anyway, all right. Well, I interpreted it as what what we're missing, like in our cake, that makes us who we are.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That was it.
I don't feel like I'm missing nothing. To be completely honest with you.
Is that a little conceit?
It might be.
Oh my god.
I mean, no. I it's like for real, I really don't. I don't think that there's anything that I would. Not only just nothing I would do differently, but there are no lessons or ingredients that I would say that I'm missing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're raising your kids a little differently. So do you wish you were raised more like you're raising your kids?
No.
No.
I mean, because we had 5, 6 boys in the house. I don't have 4
Who's
boys.
going
If I had 4 boys in the house, my parenting style would be a little bit different.
Oh.
And how I parent Camden isn't how I parent my
girls.
girls. And so no, I mean, just because I parent my kids differently doesn't mean that I wish I was parented that way.
Okay.
It's just my personal preference on how I want to raise my kids. But I don't feel like I missed anything at all. There's nothing that I wouldn't instill in myself. I felt like you guys gave us a really good. I think the most important thing that a parent can do is give their child a foundation that they can build on. You know what I'm saying? So I have that foundation. And if there's anything I'm missing at this point in my life, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. I've had, 10 years of adulthood to figure out how to get it on my own. So, no, y'all laid the foundation. I'm good. Everything else
As far as
is on me.
foundation,
Anything else that we was missing?
core values,
We all resourceful.
things like that, we're not missing anything. Y'all did y'all thing.
Y'all
That's
did
on me
y'all
after
job.
that.
Good to hear.
If I turn out to be a bum, that's on me.
It's on you.
Yeah, I mean, our cake was well made, I guess.
Absolutely.
Our cake was well made.
Y'all made all the, well, in my eyes, made all the right decisions for us, whether we liked it or not
Right.
at the time.
Y'all like the ideal Cali family, man. You got us up out of there. You kept us out of gangs. Just all the
Yeah.
That was all God, really.
There's a lot of pitfalls that we could have fell into.
Y'all did that, man.
That was all
Y'all
God.
made.
Yeah,
It
we
really
definitely
was.
got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all made some great
did.
decisions.
Yeah, so
Like, this would be a boring movie.
Yeah.
This would be a boring movie. A happy
Would be
ending.
a
This is a
boring
Disney movie, bro.
Sorry.
We have to
No,
turn
but
this to a
that's
comedy
good.
or something.
You got the grandkids.
nobody want to see that. Where all
Where's the consequence?
everybody
You
come
have,
up,
you have little things
turn
here.
out well.
You have little things
A
here. and
little
there.
bit of drama in my
A
series.
little bit of drama.
You have drama here and there, little, you know
Back
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
day?
Little, you know what I'm saying, between like,
Even
you know,
recent,
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
We got stuff. Everybody got stuff.
Every family has a
Oh,
boss.
as
we all got-
you know
we
what
all
I'm saying?
As far
got
as
Yeah.
magnitude and
We just
how
don't
big
focus
it is.
on it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I
we
mean?
don't
There's
dwell.
too much good that happens.
Yeah, we just,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's still happening.
Yeah.
We're blessed,
On any
man.
negatives.
Exactly. You would be expressing a really negative level of or lack of gratitude, I should say.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a slap in the
insecurities.
face when the Lord blesses you with so many things to focus on the 1 or 2 things that you feel like he didn't answer that prayer for
Yeah,
you.
it's like
You know what I
going
mean?
around. It's like having like $1 million.
Yeah.
Maybe he probably knew what was best in that situation.
In every
That he didn't answer
situation.
your prayer, so you know
In
what I'm
every
saying?
situation. Yeah. So we always have to express a healthy level of gratitude. Wake up grateful, go to bed grateful.
Indeed.
And everything that we do, be grateful.
For sure.
And I try to tell myself that every day, like, thank you, God, for waking me up. I try not to complain about. I might have a flat tire. Might not
Laugh
feel
it
like
off,
going to
man.
work. Might get sick or something.
You might fall asleep on the podcast.
Hey, it happens. So,
Boy, Drew had
you
5.4.
don't miss nothing.
Boy, Drew's nickname is Segway.
Hey, what did Drew say
plead
on
the
the phone yesterday?
What did that say?
He said, I said something about taking my chances with something. Drew said, you need to stop taking them chances, go get a COVID test.
He said, you gonna stop taking your chances and get the COVID vaccine.
I was like, dang, that was
Drew's
too
not
perfect.
gonna let you slide.
Never.
Yeah.
Drew ain't gonna let it slide.
Myself with that one.
No.
But
But
nah,
back to Lake's point. I mean, or what Mom was saying, just being grateful. I thank God every day, every morning, every night. I'm blessed to have the brothers that I have, to have the mother that I have, the father.
You are blessed.
Every day. Before I wake up. I mean, not before I wake up. When I wake up.
Man,
we got a head start.
boy, dreaming about being grateful.
Like, bruh.
Listen, no, but real talk. Like, I literally, I wake up every morning. And before I do it, before I even touch my phone, I make sure I thank God just for, everything
is
that I
good.
got in my life.
Indeed.
Oh, so
When I gotta wake up 4 a.m. and train someone, no matter how much I don't want to, oh shit, Thank you, God. Yeah. Get my butt up. So yeah, man, it's all about perspective. Grass is always greener.
Right.
So
Really
You just gotta water it.
I just, I want to applaud everybody for not cursing.
I did a great job.
in
Didn't I?
the middle of a prayer.
I did a great job. I cussed like 3-4 times.
We kept it to a minimum.
And see, I only heard one.
Dang, see, that's
Yeah, so
We
you
kept it
messing
to a
up.
minimum. We wanted to stay respectful.
Thank you. I appreciate
You know
that.
what I mean?
That's crazy. You had that thought at the same exact time I had.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It happens a lot, huh?
It does.
Wow.
Yeah, we did a good job. We did a good job.
But nah,
I do that every time.
Nah, we back at it next
Oh,
episode.
it's a
yeah, hold up.
Jordan,
I can't even
Jordan gonna be on the Snoop
I
one.
was getting ready- I was getting- I was getting
Disclaimer.
ready- I was gonna close it out, but nah. What do you think about what we're doing with this?
I love it. Oh, okay. So I really wanted to tell you guys, and you already, some of y'all maybe I said this, but you guys inspire me. Did I ever tell you guys that?
You can say it again.
I ain't
I
heard
think
it.
Yeah,
I've,
say it loud.
I think I've told you individually
Reiterate.
with your individual projects, you know. But what inspires me about you guys and your generation, y'all just do. You get an idea, and you execute it, and you do it, and I'm really inspired by that. Shoot, this might be like my introduction to my podcast.
Listen to Leslie.
Listen to Leslie.
Yeah,
Number 2.
You know, we already got the mic set up. Half the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we ready for you.
I got some things to talk about.
Come on.
You know.
Talk
So you
about it.
inspire what else? We need more.
More about the
More.
podcast
Another
or
one.
about other
No,
stuff.
just like what you think about the podcast.
What can we
You
do to
inspired? Like
improve?
what?
I love the podcast, but then I feel like I'm biased because I just like
That's
I love
okay.
y'all, and I love the camaraderie between all of you. You know, it was Dad and our dream that y'all would grow up and be each other's best friends. You know, that was important to us. I didn't have siblings, you know, and Dad had, like, there were 10 of them, but, you know, a lot of them went in their own way. And so we really wanted you guys to grow up and be each other's best friends and to rely on each other, you know. So it warms my heart to see it, you know, and to be a part of it today. I really appreciate y'all including me.
Of course.
You
You know
know,
what I mean?
yeah.
It was an honor to have you.
Well, we appreciate you coming.
Pleasure.
Today we'll call it the Max 6.
Yeah.
You feel me? So,
Six podcast.
yeah.
All right.
No, but we appreciate you coming. We love you.
Love you,
I
mama.
y'all
Thank you
too.
for carrying us for 9 months, giving us life, raising us right.
Breastfeeding
And
y'all.
When's Happy Mother's Day?
breastfeeding,
When's
instilling the
Mother's Day?
principles that
wasn't breastfeeding.
you need
It's
to
coming-
instill in us
yeah.
to
Is this?
It's coming
become the
Sunday.
men that we are today.
Yes.
I did a poor job as a host. I didn't introduce this as a Mother's Day episode, but
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It's all good. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to, I'm going to go first and
Get right.
wish my wife
Yeah, there you go.
happy Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? And their wives, girlfriends, and you specifically, happy Mother's Day.
thank you,
Mama
thank
We
you.
love
Mother's
you.
Day, Mama.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
On actual Mother's Day, we'll have flowers and, you know, all that jazz.
Y'all gonna cook for me?
We might. I don't know.
Lake?
Lake the
Yeah,
chef.
like the chef.
I got you. I got what you want.
I want some steak
Okay.
We all want some
I'll make you
steak.
some food.
and shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go and whip up for the whole family.
But no, we really, you know, we love and appreciate
I ain't
you.
getting you no more plans.
Thank you for all that you've done for us.
You heard me?
Not and motherhood didn't just stop when we. Dang, bro.
Sorry.
Drew was trying to be deep.
I was trying.
Go ahead.
Nigga late, bro.
Yeah, leg back where he was.
Y'all should have me sleep. Y'all
But no, we love and appreciate you. We thank you for, you know, instilling everything you instilled in us. I forgot what I was like gonna say, but it was something.
Well,
better
I
than
love
what
y'all
just
too.
said.
As you already know, you know, I would do anything for you.
That's what I was gonna say.
Y'all be all up in my house. You done took over my movie room. You know what I'm saying?
Sure
This,
did.
this is the podcast studio
What
now.
movie room?
What you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about, huh?
It's a set.
You see these lights right
the
here?
set.
Yo, everybody
Hey,
takes over the whole
Hey,
house.
I plead the
Okay,
fifth.
yeah, the fifth.
I plead the fifth. But yeah, so motherhood didn't just stop when we came, you know, 18 or adults, had our own families. You're still parenting us. I guess not parenting, but you're still our mothers. You're still giving us the guidance and wisdom that we need as we
If you
go
ask.
through our life journey. If we ask, of course. Sometimes if we don't, you know, we'll still get.
True.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking in this episode because of something you said.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? But Y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we wrap this up?
I appreciate you, mama.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day. Of course, happy Mother's Day to my wife, you know what I'm saying, as well. 4 kids, man, that's a crazy thing. After I saw what she went through as a mother, that's when I started appreciating you more.
Right.
Man. Let me tell my mama I love her because it's for the birds.
Austin.
You stupid.
Yeah, happy Mama's Day. We love you.
Yeah, guys, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Happy Mother's Day to Shorty, you know what I'm saying? And it's our first, well, for me at least, you know, our first Mother's Day that we can actually celebrate together with our own child. So,
That's what's up,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? That's,
Congrats.
You know, gotta do something.
Happy Mother's Day to
Hey,
y'all women,
I
man.
can't give it away. It's coming up.
Yeah. I want to say happy Mother's Day too to my daughters-in-law and, you know, mothers of my grandchildren. I love them just like they were my own daughters. And I'm really appreciative of the relationships that I have with them.
Just hold it down, man.
Yeah. They're
So-
good. They're really good people. You guys did good picking your women.
Yeah, I wonder where we got the blueprint from.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's the
Yeah, man.
I pray for y'all to have good women.
Hey, I was the first
that
one.
prayer was answered.
I was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took the plunge. Long
They said we gonna see.
I'm still praying for y'all.
It's never too late,
We
bro.
don't see good, buddy.
It's never too late, man.
That's real. But yeah, so we appreciate all y'all tuning in to the Mac 6 podcast with the bros and the matriarchs. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, you do. We out.
You won't believe me if I told you I'm a star in the making. Get more support from unfamiliar faces. No, I don't strive to be famous, but I'm not blocking any blessings. If that shit is up for offer, then you know I'ma take it. It got a few stipulations about my soul. I never give it to Satan at all. Money really be the reason that some of you fall. Doing shit just for abundance. But fuck what y'all been doing, cause I know my time is coming. I've been running and running. I came this far and I'm not seeing any reason in stopping. Niggas plotting on the moves you trying to make instead of focusing on what's in they wallet. Been reminiscing on the days when I would try to buy me food with just the coins in my pocket. Humble beginnings, struggling to find out what the fuck I've been missing. Yeah, that's